Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about hacker flights, why they can be good and they can be bad. If you don't know what a hacker flight is, I'm going to explain it, and I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, the button's below, and if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. Maybe you've got some stories about using these. Thank you. Okay, let's get into this. So, basic definition of a hacker flight is when you separate plane tickets from different air companies to try to save money. Maybe one way it'll go for $700, but if you separate it between 3 different airlines in 3 different areas, then it'll go for a lot less. Most of what I do with my flights would be described as a hacker flight or a hacker fare if one of the apps were to do it. Like, I know I looked up one that cost me $710 to fly from my airport, CVG, to Paris, France, whereas I think it cost 200 and something to fly from New York to Paris, and 100 and I think 35 or 39 to fly from CVG to New York City. So I separated it, and it ended up saving me $332. But sometimes apps will do this for you, but there's a lot to actually worry about when you let them do it. I know Kayak, I've seen one where it would have cost $100 or $50 to $100 less, sometimes more, to fly places if you do it that way, but they don't tell you what the risk is. So, okay, for my example today, I'm gonna use a flight from New York to OTP, which is Bucharest, because I have friends in Romania and I would like to go back there. So that's what I decided to use as an example. Now, as you can see from the picture, if I wanna fly one way with just one airline, then it's gonna cost me about $602. That's a lot of money. So now in their hacker flights, they have multiple airlines, and it says it's only $395. That's pretty good savings. That's $200 and some that you just saved. And people look at this and they'll be like, yeah, I'd love to save 200 and some bucks. That's good. What you don't realize is if you go deeper and actually look at the fares, then you'll see that it's got a stop in Paris and a stop in Milan, and they're with different airlines. So you gotta check, if you're gonna do this, one, you have to check your layover times, because even though you're saving money, you might not be saving money. You might actually hurt yourself. Because one, every time you have to switch an airline, you have to change your bags. So you're automatically paying more baggage fees. Usually baggage fees are, if you're not buying them with the ticket, then usually baggage fees are 30 to 60 bucks depending on the size of your bag, plus you each way. So that's one thing you've done. The second thing is you're also, if you miss that flight, then you're gonna have to buy another ticket. So you need to make sure you've got plenty of time between each layover to make it, because you gotta check your bags, you gotta get back to the new flight. And I fly to New York all the time. I've never flown out on time. At least an hour I've got to leave out. And if you're using one airline and not using a hacker line, then you can they'll actually change it for you. I flew to Romania the last time with Lufthansa, and it was 4 hours late, and before I even as soon as I touched down and turned back on my phone, they had already changed the time for the next flight because they knew it was going to be 4 hours late. When you do this, if you miss one flight, then the next flight don't care, because it's to a totally different company. Especially through a third-party site like Kayak or Priceline or anything, that's even less control of what's going on. If you're, say, switching from Lufthansa to Ryanair, and Lufthansa was late, and then Ryanair comes up, Ryanair is not going to care that you missed that flight because of Lufthansa's problem. They're just going to know you missed that flight. These are things to think about. It looks like you're going to save so much money, but people don't explain to you the risks and just how much you could actually be causing yourself to pay even more. If you buy a flight for tomorrow, it's going to be a lot more expensive than buying a flight for 3 months from now. Anybody who's bought plane tickets knows to plan ahead, because for some reason they're hundreds of dollars cheaper. So I just want to say this because a lot of people see this on these apps and they think, oh, this will work. Yeah, don't cause yourself more stress. Don't charge yourself more money because they make it sound enticing. Make sure you know these like tricks, because otherwise, I mean, when I go to New York, I give myself a day whenever I fly to New York before I take my next flight. Basically, I mean, I'll always find something to do, but at the least, I'd probably give myself like 6 hours or something if I'm scheduling the different hacker styles of flying. Just wanted to say this. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully this helps somebody. Maybe you already knew. I mean, maybe you didn't. But I try to help people, and hopefully you like this video. Have a wonderful day.